Right, now it took 5 days for the UP police to issue their first summons to the son of a sitting Minister of State. He, of course, is a prominent BJP leader as well. Legal experts have been saying that this is a rather unusual decision of the UP police, and it does appear that they did give a bit of a long rope to the man in question. Take a look at this report. 5 days. For 5 long days, the UP police did not issue summons to the man allegedly behind this. The man in question, Ashish Mishra, son of a BJP leader and a sitting union minister. An FIR was registered on the 3rd of October, but up until October 7th, the UP police was in slumber. 2 Supreme Court hearings and a rap on the knuckles of the UP government pushed the police to issue the first summons to Ashish Mishra, son of Minister Ajay Mishra. Legal experts say the delay in questioning Ashish Mishra is unusual.
Police agencies don't act with a promptitude in calling in persons who are named. And I think that is something which is a matter of some concern, especially when those persons have a level of access to power, and that sends out a bad signal.
The long rope the police seems to have given Mishra has given the opposition the biggest handle they needed just before elections in the state.
इस देश के गृह राज्य मंत्री के बेटे ने अपनी गाड़ी के नीचे, अपनी जीप के नीचे 6 किसानों को निर्ममता से कुचल दिया कि सरकार पूरी तरह से उस मंत्री और उस मंत्री के बेटे के बचत में लगी रही.
Ashish Mishra's refusal to turn up for questioning after the first summons and the allegations of him making an attempt to leave the country raised multiple questions on the conduct of the police. Experts say there are 2 situations in which the police do not call a person against whom the FIR has been filed: if a person is not available or if there is no material against the individual. This was never the case in this matter. Mishra was even speaking to the press. The delay in acting against Ashish Mishra has led fears of a cover-up bid. With Anisha Mathur in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today. Latest in this case is that Ashish Mishra has now been sent to 3-day police custody. The police initially wanted 14 days of custody for Ashish Mishra, the son of a sitting Minister of State in the BJP-led NDA government. However, they have only got 3 days of custody, and there is going to be police interrogation in connection with the Lakhimpur violence case in which a convoy, in fact, ran over farmers, leading to the death of 8 people in totality. This included farmers, 1 journalist and also BJP workers. Ashish Mishra, remember, had been named in the FIR on the 3rd of October when this horrific incident came to light, with videos also surfacing of it. But the police only issued summons 5 days later on the 7th of October. Meanwhile, as far as this particular issue is concerned, yes, it is horrific, but it has also given the opposition a big talking point ahead of the elections in the state of Uttar Pradesh. The Congress General Secretary in charge of UP, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, in fact, was in a Maun Vrat today. Take a look.
Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra participating in a silent protest right outside the Gandhi statue at GPO. This is the nerve center of Lucknow, and the Congress party doing a silent protest across the country. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra there seated right in the center, flanked by other Congress leaders of Uttar Pradesh, sending a message across, mounting pressure on the Yogi government and the Modi government as far as the demand for suspension of the Union Home Minister Ajay Mishra is concerned. Congress is not ready to blink. They're in fact, throwing itself as a serious challenger and also a serious opposition to the Yogi government. With video journalist Pawan, this is Mosmi Singh in Lucknow for India Today.
Well, the ripples of the Lakhimpur Kheri violence case is also now being felt in a state like Maharashtra, where the government there, Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, interestingly called for a statewide bandh in a state that the government has power in. Obviously, this led to a great deal of inconvenience when it came to regular movement of the people in the state of Maharashtra. Take a look at how the major cities were affected.
Buses halted, traffic hit, shops closed. The people of Maharashtra bore the brunt of a bandh called by the Mahavikas Aghadi. Yes, the parties who run the government in Maharashtra called for the shutdown to express their solidarity with farmers after the Lakhimpur Kheri violence on 3rd October, in which 4 farmers died. Mumbai, Pune, Thane, Aurangabad, Akola, almost every part of Maharashtra saw an impact of the shutdown, with people again paying the price of bandh politics.
Since morning, there are very limited number of people on the road and also very limited number of cars. As you can see, the BST buses are also not plying on the road. You can see that there is police security at different places. The security is beefed up, at various points in Mumbai, so that to avoid any kind of untoward incident.
Monday morning was marked by office goers struggling to get to workplaces as bus services were affected. Protesters pelted stones at 9 buses across the city, prompting the BEST administration to cancel bus services and seek police protection.
सरकार ने कोई स्थापना बंद नहीं किया है, लेकिन ड्राइवर और स्टाफ काम पे नहीं आए तो निश्चित रूप से गाड़ियां नहीं निकलेंगी और शांतिपूर्वक बंद है। कुछ जगह पे पत्थरबाजी की कोई बात सामने आ रही है, ये ठीक नहीं। इस तरह का कोई काम ना करें ताकि बंद में अलग तरह की खबरें आए। शांतिपूर्वक आंदोलन हो शाम तक, हम लोगों से मांग करते हैं।
People were seen waiting for hours at bus stations, trying to figure out how to get to work.
बस है नहीं मैडम, मगर क्या करेंगे, अभी छुट्टी ही करना पड़ेगा।
किधर जाना है?
मेरे को उड़ाला जाने का, उड़ाला। अभी कैसे जाएंगे, अभी देखो कैसे जाएंगे, अभी उड़ाला।
Mumbai's lifeline, local trains, bore the brunt as well as footfall moved to the stations.
There were chances that the protesters may try to stop the Mumbai's lifeline, that's the Mumbai local train, and therefore outside all the railway stations of Mumbai there is a bandobast by Mumbai police, and such is the situation right now in Mumbai. Most importantly, BST buses are not plying, and therefore the local Mumbaikars are facing lot of problem to go to their offices and other work-related things.
Some Sena workers forcefully shut shops in Mumbai's Kurla West area. In Nagpur too, Sena workers shut down shops as they hit the streets. In Pune, the mega APMC market remained closed in solidarity with Lakhimpur farmers.
यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं कि मुख्य मंडी है जो मार्केट यार्ड की गुल टेकड़ी सब्जी मंडी, और यहाँ पर सन्नाटा छाया हुआ है। किसी भी तरह की कामकाज जो है वो नहीं हो रहा है।
Mahavikas Aghadi partners, Congress, NCP and Shiv Sena workers took out a motorcycle rally chanting slogans against the BJP. The opposition BJP slammed the Aghadi Sarkar, criticizing the bandh call in Maharashtra.
ढोंगीपणा करायचा आणि मीडिया अटेन्शन कॅच करायची, एवढंच यांचं काम आहे। हे सगळे मीडियाच्या पुढे बोलणारे लोक आहेत। जमिनीवर काहीच नाही, जमिनीवरचं दुःख पाहिलं नाही। मला सांगा, मराठवाड्याच्या शेतकऱ्याचे अश्रू पुसण्याकरता यांच्यापैकी कोणीतरी गेलं का? हे कोणी गेले नाही। पालकमंत्री देखील अर्धे गेले नाही आहेत। मुख्यमंत्री उपमुख्यमंत्री तर सोडाच, अर्धे पालकमंत्री त्या ठिकाणी गेलेले नाही आहेत। कशाचा बंद करताय?
With Purva Chitnis and Saurav Vaktania in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime. Now let's tell you about Covaxin, India's indigenous vaccine against COVID-19. The World Health Organization's Technical Advisory Group will be meeting anytime this week to discuss the emergency use listing for Covaxin. What has been going on behind the scenes and why is this EUL important for Covaxin? Take a look. The World Health Organization has set the ball rolling. An approval for Covaxin, India's indigenous vaccine against COVID-19, now looks likely. The WHO's advisory group of experts on immunization met last week to discuss Bharat Biotech's application for emergency use listing.
We are in the process. So we are doing whatever the WHO wants it. We are fulfilling all the requirement. It's a part of the process of the regulatory system. So we need to understand.
The health body has said in a statement last week that World Health Organization experts are currently reviewing this information, and if it addresses all questions raised, the WHO assessment will be finalized next week. The WHO has also said it is now carrying out the risk-benefit assessment. Bharat Biotech says it has addressed all the queries raised by the world body. Sources within Bharat Biotech say that the meeting with the World Health Organization had gone off well and that they expect a favorable decision for Covaxin. The WHO has said that the technical advisory group of the world body is going to be meeting between the 11th of October and the 17th of October, and a decision on Covaxin within this particular week is expected. Close to 12% of India's total vaccinations have used Covaxin. A nod to Covaxin is going to help these Indians travel abroad. Their vaccination status is not recognized the world over currently. An approval will also be a shot in the arm for the manufacturer, Bharat Biotech, enabling it to begin commercial deals, exports and contribution to Global Vaccine Alliance COVAX that helps developing countries.
We have 6 vaccines are WHO pre-qualified. It's not that we don't know the field. So we're working. काम हो रहा है. And WHO पूरा लोग question क्या पूछ रहा है, हम लोग हम answer दे रहे हैं. And I think it's going very well.
But how soon will Covaxin get the clearance? India is keeping its fingers crossed. Welcome back. Now, the MG Aster has been launched in India with introductory prices starting from rupees 9.78 lakh and going up to 16.78 lakh ex-showroom. The company says these prices are valid for the 5,000 odd units it will deliver this year. The Aster is essentially a petrol-powered version of the ZS EV, albeit with multiple styling updates and a lot more features. It is positioned in the extremely competitive and ever-growing mid-size SUV segment, taking competition to Hyundai Creta and Kia Seltos doorstep. Bookings for the MG Aster will officially begin on the 21st of October. All right, that's all we could pack in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. On the other side of this break is 7 at 7 with my colleague Preeti Chaudhary. Stay on for that. Thanks for watching.